welcome back to my channel. I hope you're having a lovely day. I'm going to be doing a bit of a declutter and going through a few items today. To be honest, I've been a little bit out of touch with decluttering lately. Everything has been super busy, and I'm sure we've all experienced something very similar where life just starts getting in the way, and I really just feel like I need to declutter something, and I have not looked through these particular items since, I want to say, about January and February of 2020 when I first started this journey, because clothes was something I tackled. So in these little bins here, baskets, boxes, bins, whatever you want to call them, are basics, activewear, things like that. Things that I would not typically include in my capsule wardrobe. So it's sort of everything else. And as you saw at the start of the video, I don't keep these items hung up. I just keep them in these storage cubes. I've got an IKEA unit. It's a Kallax unit in my wardrobe, and all my sort of bits and bobs, basics, activewear live in those. But they do need a good going through. I want to see what I still use, what I can let go of, and just show you really how many of each item I'm comfortable with for my needs, and maybe so you can think about a similar thing as well. One thing I do want to start off with though is pajamas. The reason being is because I don't think people talk about their pajamas enough in terms of minimalism. It seems to be one of those areas that slips under the radar, you know. We talk about the household items and furniture and decorative items a lot, and we talk about clothing and capsule wardrobes and even the items that we exclude from capsule wardrobes, but we don't really talk about pajamas. So for me, pajamas are these. I have a pair of grey bottoms and a white top that I wear together. They are not a matching set. They were two individual items. I just thought they were really soft, comfortable, basic, easy to wear, easy to wash. And I have two sets exactly the same. And that is literally it. That is my pajama entirety. So, you know, I don't have a night dress, or I don't have a pair with shorts in case it gets too hot. You know, I don't live in a hot country, so if it's warm one night, I open a window and that is enough. So that is literally my entirety of pajamas. I have two t-shirts and two bottoms exactly the same. I can always have one on, and then there's a spare for when one needs to go in the wash, and that's it. So for one of the things we don't include in our capsule wardrobes, my pajamas, very simple and straightforward. Whilst I'm on it as well, I might as well mention underwear. I own 3 bras. They are non-wired bras from Organic Basics, 2 in nude and 1 in black, just for all eventualities of tops. I do have quite a few paler coloured tops, which is why I have 2 of the nude and 1 of the black, just because I'm more likely to need a nude. And then I have 10 pairs of bottoms, if you like. Again, 6 nude, 4 black. And then 10 pairs of black socks, and that is the entirety of my underwear as well. So in terms of that area as well, I'm very basic, keeping things really minimal for comfort, for ease of wearing, ease of washing. You know, my laundry is very straightforward because they all match. I don't have to worry about different things being different materials and have to be washed in different ways. All done at the same time, really nice, easy and simple. So those are 2 things that people tend not to include in their capsule wardrobe, which for me are already super straightforward. So let's have a look in some of these boxes now. So I'm going to start with vest tops, which are in this cube first. I might add that these cubes aren't exactly overflowing. I barely have anything in them, but vest tops is something I always tend to hold on to because most of the shirts I wear for work are of a sheer material, and even if they're not, I do like to just have like that extra layer underneath, particularly in the winter, so I do tend to hold on to vest tops. There are a few missing from here, generally speaking my white and nude coloured ones, because they're in the laundry right now, and today is laundry day, so there are a few missing, but I'm not too bothered about that because they're obviously the ones I am wearing at the moment for work and things like that, so I don't need to worry about decluttering those. So I have one slightly longer, almost like a vest top dress, which I don't wear a lot, but it is very handy to use under, again, black dresses if they're made of a bit of a sheer material. And when I did my really big wardrobe declutter, I kept one evening dress that I would say is for more of a, this is not going to make sense, but casual going out evening. Like, it's not the sort of dress I would wear to a wedding, but it's the sort of dress I would wear if we were going out for a meal, say. I just kept the one because I don't honestly go out an awful lot, even before all the COVID-y stuff. So I have the one, but it is of a sheer material, and so having something like this to wear underneath it is actually really handy. So despite the fact that I don't grab for it very often, it really does serve a purpose, so not going to let that one go. I have two identical bodysuits in grey and then this sort of pinkish red colour. Again, not something I reach for often, but I do sometimes, and more so the grey than the pinky red. So I'm going to let the pinky red go because I don't feel like I get enough wear out of this one, and I'm going to keep the grey one. I've then got a small selection of darker coloured vest tops. I've got a grey, a black that is really starting to fade, and a navy blue. I'm going to let the navy blue go because I don't reach for that one at all. Even though the black is a little faded, I'm going to hold on to it just because I think black is a good colour to have, and I'm not urgently feeling like I need to replace this, so I will just keep going with this one as and when I need to until I feel like it's sort of worn out and it won't do anymore. And I'm going to keep the grey just because it's a little bigger. The black one is very much practically skin tight, whereas this one's got a little bit more give. So depending on what I want to wear, it's nice to have a different sort of fit. So one tighter one and one looser one in the dark colours. I've then got a purple and a green. I am going to keep the green. I love this colour, I love this shade. I reach for this one quite a bit, but I am going to let the purple one go. I only used to wear the purple one with an old yellow sort of flannel shirt I used to have, but I don't have that shirt anymore, so I don't think I need this vest top anymore. I've then got a white, which I need because, as I said, so many pale tops. I don't suit dark tops very well, so when I wear dark on the top, it will usually be a dress or very rarely a blouse. So I'm definitely not getting rid of the whites, and the pinks always do well as a backup when your whites are in the wash. So I will be holding on to those two as well. So I think at the moment I have 2 vest tops in the wash. So that will bring my total up to 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, which is still quite a lot, I would say. I need to make sure I've got enough to get me through the working week, so that would be 5 because I do my laundry at the weekends, and I feel like a vest top for me is something I'd want to wear a fresh one every day, and so, you know, I've got 4 lightish coloured ones, and then I suppose one day I might wear the grey or the black. I've then got the green, which is just something I'd more likely wear on the weekend, to be honest, more casual. And then I've got that longer vest top dress. So these are just my basic vest tops, so 9 of those. This next row is very simple. I have 2 pairs of identical black leggings and a 3rd pair in the wash. I wear these all the time, so I don't feel like I need to declutter anything from this section. When I wear dresses, particularly for work and particularly in the colder months, I will reach for leggings as opposed to tights, just because they're warmer and more comfortable. But also, if I feel like a dress is a little bit short, then I feel more modest and more covered up, and I won't be feeling self-conscious if I'm wearing leggings. I feel like it sort of gives you a bit of a balance. Whereas even if you're wearing black tights, if they're a little see-through and my dress is too short, I do feel like that may not be appropriate for work, and it doesn't really represent office style. I don't know if that's just me getting too much in my head, but I just feel more comfortable most of the times in leggings, unless my dress is sort of knee length, in which case I'll wear tights. But 3 pairs of leggings, again, I don't think that's too excessive. I pretty much only wear leggings for work at this point, and not really very much else. And these 2, this one is very full, these 2 contain my, if you like, activewear, which is bizarre because when I started this journey, I said I wasn't someone that had sort of specific activewear. I would just use my leggings as workout wear and then just throw them in the washing machine, and my leggings were sort of multi-purpose. They would be worn for work, they would be worn for working out, and that's just how I rolled. But then I found some bits and pieces that were just in amongst all of my clothes that I could sort of dedicate to my individual activewear, and that is what I've ended up with here. But I think this is a little bit too much for the amount of exercise I do. Pretty much every day I go for a walk, and sometimes I go for a jog or a run. That is a little bit less lately, as I said, things have been busy. I sometimes work out in my garage. I've got a couple of exercise pieces in there, and I sometimes do like a YouTube workout in front of the TV. So I do a variety, but I think all of those things you could wear the exact same things for, whether you're walking, running, elliptical, exercise bike, floor workout, you know, I could wear the same thing for all of those. So I don't feel like I need much variety. So we're going to go through, see what I've kept and see what I can let go of. So the first thing I'm definitely going to keep are these very thin joggers. These are basically the same material as my leggings. The waistband though is much, I would say, stronger, sturdier, more supportive, and there's just some white text down the side. These are the ones I reach for the most when I would go jogging, or if I'm doing a workout at home, whether it's exercise equipment or like a floor workout. So these are something I reach for very often. The only time I don't reach for these so much is if I'm going walking, because we're still in amidst cold weather right now. Like, it's the first day of May when I'm filming this, and I have put the heating on for an hour. We have a setting where you can put it on for an hour. I've put it on just to warm the house up a little bit because it has been freezing this morning. So when I go for a walk, it's still quite chilly, even though you're moving around. So I don't always grab for these when I go for a walk. I can pretty much grab for them for everything else. So they're very useful, and I will be holding on to these. I've then got a very similar thing, just in shorts. They're the same material as the leggings, but they're just not as long. Again, something I will reach for when I'm indoors at any time throughout the year, and when I go out for walks and jogs in the summer. But I've not been wearing these outside yet, but I have been wearing them for other indoor sort of workouts. So those I'll hold on to. I've then got a pair of Nike sort of 3/4. I feel like these are actually cycling shorts, but I always wore them as joggers. They're a little small on me now. I've had them probably for maybe 6 years, and I was smaller 6 years ago than I am now. There is a slight tear on one of the knees. I actually wore them playing badminton once and fell over, and when I grazed my knee, it actually tore it a little bit. So all in all, I don't reach for these very much because of the tear. I feel like they look a bit scruffy, they don't fit very well, and so they're not the most comfortable. And I think the only reason I've held on to them is because they were more expensive than the other items I've shown you so far. But I think it is time to actually let these go. I've then got 2 pairs of, these were really cheap and now really old shorts from Primark. Again, really good for the summer, but don't reach for them really the rest of the year round. So I'm just going to keep 1 pair. On bottoms, I always prefer a darker colour, so I'm going to keep this navy pair, and I'm going to let go of this white and fluorescent orange and black sort of animal print pair. They can go. And then I do have this black pair. I don't know how old these are, but they're older than those shorts, and I said they were about 6 years old, so this is madness. These are from Primark. These are so old and dishevelled, and I feel so scruffy when I wear them. But aside from the fact that I lost one of the ties at the front, so there's just a hole and I just have one dangling like a strange little person when I go out. These are comfy, I wear them when I go walking, and they're still serving me a purpose, and you know what, I can cope with just that little bit of scruffy. I don't feel the need to replace these unnecessarily, so you know what, they're gonna stay. And then the last pair, again, this is more of that cycling style bottom. Really good for the summer again. I'd say I reach for these quite a bit, but they wouldn't be the first pair I reach for. How many have I kept? 1. So I've kept 2 long and 2 shorts. You see, with bottoms, when I go walking, I'm not so fussy. Like, I will wear these 2-3 days in a row for going walking, because I'll probably go out for an hour and a half, and then I'll just leave them in my room until the next day and wear them again and then wash them. But if I'm going to go jogging, that's something I will wash after each go, because you get all hot and sweaty, and that's not very nice. I think I better just keep 1 more just in case. I mean, we can see how we go. I think that's always like, there's that stage of adapting and sort of figuring out how well you can cope with the items you've kept. I'm not sure if I've mentioned it before, but when I do a declutter, I do hold on to the items I let go of for quite a while, just to make sure that I am actually going to manage without them, because I don't want to declutter something, realise I can't manage, and then have to buy something again. That's just not good sense to me. So I do hold on to things for a while before letting them go. So I will see how I go. Usually I'm fine, and you adapt to these situations pretty quickly, and you find just ways of working with what you've got. So that is the situation with bottoms. So I think that was 5, wasn't it? 1, 2, 3, 4. So 5 bottoms for exercising. Nice, more empty drawer there. And then the tops are a bit manic, to be honest, but there is a mixture of all sorts in here. There's jumpers and hoodies, sports bras, t-shirts, and things like that. So there's quite a bit going on in here. To begin with, I have got just 2 tiny little sports bras. They're really not supportive whatsoever, but they do the job when I work out sort of low impact at home. These are fine, especially on a day where it's quite warm. Again, doesn't happen very often, but if it is warm and I'm just around the house, I will just wear this with some leggings or some shorts. Even though it's not really a top, it kind of does the job. And so actually I'm going to hold on to those. I have then got a proper sports bra that's actually got levels of support in there that I will be holding on to. What I will be letting go of, which I technically decluttered once before. I let this go in my very first wardrobe declutter on the grounds that, let's face it, I wasn't going to wear this out and about anywhere. But then I argued with myself, like with those, that I could just wear it in the house. But I haven't, because to be quite honest, it's a little bit snug. I know sports bras are, like I have to really dance to get into this one. But this one is just really uncomfortable for me to try and get into. I don't know if it's the style of it, but it's not comfortable, so I'm going to let it go. I've got 2 different pink tops that I'm actually going to let go of, just because I don't reach for them very often. Usually when I'm walking, I will wear some sort of sweatshirt or hoodie or zip up or something, and underneath it I'll just wear a standard vest top. I don't really reach for these specific activewear ones, and they're both annoying colours to wash because they run, so I have to do them separate from everything else, and in my opinion that's just too much to worry about. So these can go. I've then got a Calvin Klein, it's a little bit cropped but not a lot. I think it's from, yeah, the Performance line. I bought this probably 5 or 6 years ago when I was on holiday once, and I thought it was really cute. I think it was in the sale, and I do actually reach for it when I go out walking. It's a nice soft and comfortable layer. In fact, I'm freezing, so I'm going to put it on. This will be keeping, and now I'm not as cold. I'm going to keep this. This was from Primark, and it's just a Pink Floyd vest top, really handy for just working out in, very easy to just slip on. I've not really got much more to say about it than that. It's just an easy one to work out in, and because most of my bottoms are black, it matches. So I will hold on to that one. I've got a really old Calvin Klein t-shirt, and you know, without sharing too much information, this has been worn and sweated in so many times that the underarms are starting to go a bit of an off-white colour. So yeah, I think it's time to let this one go. I wouldn't reach for this now because I feel like it's kind of obvious and noticeable, so it can definitely go. I've then got my big comfy hoodie. This is from the Wind Cave National Park in South Dakota. I love this hoodie. I did lose the string in it. What is it? What's my problem with losing strings? I don't know. But I lost that, but it's still super cozy. On a particularly cold day, I put this on for going on walks, but I also sometimes just wear it around the house when it's freezing. So I'm definitely keeping this one. And the last one. So I kept this one because it was my only zip up, and I quite like a zip up every now and then. So it's not the best colour. You know, it's just a pale green. It's not the worst colour, it suits me, but you know, it's just green. But I'm going to hold on to it for now just because it's my only zip up, and so that is a keep. I've just noticed there is one thing that isn't here, so it must be in the wash from when I went walking earlier in the week. I also have a red pair of warmer joggers, which are the only bottoms I own with zip pockets, which is the reason why I have kept those, and that is very handy for when, on that very rare occasion in my life, I find myself at a theme park like Alton Towers. You can put your phone and your purse in your pockets and zip them up, and you don't have to leave them in that bag station thingy. So, you know, call it my paranoia, but they're a very handy pair of bottoms to have. So I also have those, so that's actually one extra to consider in the bottoms category. So I've kept one zip up and one hoodie and one sweatshirt without a hood, which I'm wearing now because I'm just wearing it. Basically only one top to wear, probably under those or on its own if it's warm enough, because I will generally just reach for my vest tops, and then my variety of actually useful and not so useful sports bras. So this drawer is a lot emptier, like this was up to the top basically. Now it's about half full. So that gives us 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 items to declutter out of that. I don't feel like that's a bad thing. It's a small declutter, but it's a declutter nonetheless, and I just feel a little bit better knowing I've gone through these and I can put them away now, knowing that they're not filled with lots of unnecessary items and clutter. I know exactly what's in here, and that feels good. So that's it for this video. So just a brief declutter. I wanted to share a little bit with you about the things that I have, that I use, why I use them, the amounts of things I have, just so, you know, it might help you out with your own situation. And that is pretty much it. So I hope you've enjoyed the video. If you did, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe if you're not already. And I will see you in the next one. Until then, take care. Bye.